In a single night at Moix, an 18-year-old forced a season's narrative to tilt. Lamine Yamal, newly wearing Barcelona's No 10, arrived not as a cautious youngster waiting his turn, but as a player determined to carry the team. With Robert Lewandowski absent through injury, the usual burden shifted, and the teenager answered immediately. He slid the incisive pass that unlocked Rafinha for the opener. He wove into the sequence that created Ferran Torres' strike, and deep into the second half he cut inside from the right, shrugged off 3 opponents and produced a curling shot that flew into the top corner. That finish was the headline, a goal so clean, so confident, that it read like a declaration rather than a moment of luck. Across the match he hunted the ball, searched spaces and refused to be a bystander. He attempted 9 shots and put 3 on target, led the game for crosses and completed dribbles, and even tried a direct free kick that skimmed agonizingly over the bar. Those numbers are clear. This was not a cameo, it was a performance that announced a new set of expectations. Raised in Masia, Yamal carries the academy's technical DNA, the close control, the vision, the low centre of gravity that allows him to glide past markers, but what separated him at Moix was personality. The No 10 shirt has weight, and at 18 he treated it like a mission. Last season he already reached 18 goals and helped Barcelona secure a domestic treble under Hansi Flick. Now he is sharpening the next phase of his game with a vow to score more, to take penalties, and to be trusted with free kicks. That willingness to volunteer for duty is as important as the finishes themselves. When a young player steps forward to take responsibility for set pieces, it signals more than technique, it signals temperament. In a club where leadership often arrives with experience, Yamal's insistence on responsibility is a disruptive, electrifying force. The context matters. With Lewandowski sidelined, the team needed a focal point and tactical shape. Yamal provided both while remaining unpredictable and dangerous. He combined the creator's instincts with an evolving finisher's edge, shooting whenever even a sliver of space opened up and driving defenders into mistakes. His involvement in the goals proved he can both make and finish chances, a dual role that shifts how opponents must prepare. Coaches will now mark him tighter, tactical analysts will discuss how to close his inside channels and how to force Barcelona to use wider options, and teammates will have to adjust runs and service to exploit the teenager's new status. That chess match is part of what makes this moment consequential. Moix was not merely a convincing victory, it was a tactical statement about who Barcelona might revolve around in the weeks ahead. There are short-term and long-term consequences to consider. In the short term, the team benefits from a player who is willing to take risks for reward, someone who will shoot from distance, press higher and cajole defenders into errors. In the longer term, training groundwork will decide whether set pieces and penalties become his regular remit. Taking a direct free kick in a match and narrowly missing is different from accepting the role in every high-pressure, season-defining moment. The psychological side is huge. Stepping up under scrutiny as an 18-year-old invites pressure and expectation, and the way he handles that pressure will shape whether this night at Moix was the start of a defining chapter or an impressive footnote. Hansi Flick's brief to the squad has been to get the best out of their young talents and to build an attacking identity that mixes experience and youth. Flick's willingness to trust Yamal with No 10 responsibilities and the player's acceptance of those responsibilities creates opportunity for a tactical evolution. Barcelona can either lean into the unpredictability of a young mobile creator finishers in the inside channels, or they can attempt to protect Yamal's development by balancing him with a traditional striker once fit. Either way, opponents and pundits will be watching his next matches to see if Moix was replication or explosion. One excellent performance does not make a season, but certain nights point clearly to a direction. Moix offered more than a convincing scoreline. It offered a blueprint of how Barcelona might shape an attack around a decisive, audacious teenager who both creates and finishes. For supporters, commentators and rivals, the new question is less about whether Lamine Yamal has the talent, that is settled, and more about whether he can turn flashes of genius into sustained leadership, consistent goals, and match-winning set-piece responsibility. The first steps were taken on Mallorca's turf. The rest of the campaign will determine whether this curling top corner strike becomes the moment that changed a season or the first of many that define a career.